Welcome to Light at Speed. In this video, I will be explaining specification for US projects. Welcome to another edition of Light at Speed with remote controlled lighting and precision lighting. Now, we've been fortunate enough to work in the US market for many years, and I can say that as a manufacturer, there are definitely some hurdles and hoops that need to be jumped through to even be considered for use there. This is not a definitive guide by any means, but more of a tool for you to know what questions to ask when the time comes. Precision lighting and remote controlled lighting both have extensive product ranges which were designed for use for the US market. But what are the differences with UK products and the UK market? Well, initially, you have the obvious ones, voltage and frequency. In the UK, our mains power system is 240 volts AC and 50 Hz, but in the US, they use 120 volts and 60 Hz. In commercial spaces, they can also use 277 volts. Initially, this means at the very least, you'll need LED drivers, controllers and power supplies which can operate at those voltage ranges. Now, these can't be any drivers or power supplies, of course. They need to be tested and recognised for safe use in the USA. If they're external to the luminaire, they need to be UL or ETL listed equipment. A UL or an ETL certification means that products have been tested as set safety standards. ETL certification comes from Intertek, whereas UL certification comes from Underwriters Laboratories testing labs. The tests are very stringent and range from electrical safety, mechanical strength, power efficiency, and of course to fire safety. Each test is a considerable amount of money and takes quite a long time. But they are essential, as most large buildings insurances will only cover you if all of the electrical appliances within them are UL or ETL listed. Fire safety with electrical equipment has always been a hot topic in the USA, pun intended, and is more stringent in certain US states. Most of those states with higher levels of regulation have experienced tragic fires in the past, which has forced their hand to adopt tighter regulations. Then we have the luminaires themselves. I think it's fair to say that overall, the USA's level of electrical fire safety is higher than the UK's. Not only do all architectural spotlights need UL or ETL listings, but all of the components and drivers inside them also need to be recognised by UL as well. Even the materials used to make the luminaires need to be recognised by UL to be tested for fire safety. This is why you rarely see plastics used in American-bound lighting products. Recessed luminaires have even tighter regulations to track-mounted lights or surface-mounted lights, but all luminaires need to be UL or ETL listed. Pretty much all recessed lights which take in mains voltage electrically need to be enclosed or installed in an enclosure. In some cities like Chicago, almost all recessed luminaires need to have fully air-sealed enclosures or be sealed by design. This is known as Chicago Plenum rating, and its main features are that any fixture installed in a ceiling air plenum, which is the space between the finished ceiling and the main structure above, need to have special gasketing to completely enclose the luminaire, the junction box, the splice compartment, or the fixture wireway to avoid electrical sparking, fire, or other hazardous situations which might encroach into that ceiling plenum or the room below it. In California, there's an extra regulation called Title 24. This is a building energy efficiency standard designed to ensure that new buildings, existing buildings, achieve energy efficiency. All new construction and additions or alterations to residential or non-residential buildings need to be compliant except for prisons and correctional facilities. Not only do you need to select efficient luminaires, you may also need to incorporate intelligent lighting controls to adjust for daylight or occupancy sensors to make sure that lights are only on when they're needed. And even silly things like each room should have its own light switch. For mains voltage track lighting, there are limits for the number of watts per foot of track depending on its use. But how do you stop someone putting loads of halogen lights on a track? Well, to limit the amount of energy used on a track in California, each track feed has a current limiter which turns off power to the track if the power limit is exceeded. So let's say you know what products you want to use, and they all have the correct certifications for use on your project. What is the product's route to the project? Well, it starts with the lighting designer. Of course, everything does. They design and specify the products they want to use. Specification data sheets in the US are always very detailed and are known as cut sheets. Most lighting manufacturers use state or city local agents or representatives. These are skilled individuals that more often than not carry multiple luminaire brands. They also have local knowledge of regulations, hopefully good relationships with contractors, and know the architects and the local designers. Then you have distributors, which are much like the UK's electrical wholesalers. This is not uncommon for some manufacturers to partner with specific distributors. Distributors will check cut sheets and submit them for approval before products are ordered. They can also give credit to contractors and clients, which isn't normally available when a client buys directly from a manufacturer. Then there are two levels of contractor, an electrical contractor and a main contractor. Each stage along that path does end up costing some money, but it's the normal route into the US market. An obvious benefit is that there are specialists at each stage, but this does cost money. In conclusion then, make sure the luminaires you want to use are certified for the city and installation type you're working on. If you're unsure, check with a manufacturer who should be able to help you. There are normally more parties involved in American projects compared to UK ones, so get ready for long email strings and some added cost. It's therefore best to get a project budget from the client early on and local pricing from reps or distributors. Distributors normally buy from manufacturers who then sell to the electrical contractor, who then sells to the main contractor, who then sells to the client. Clients can buy direct from manufacturers and free issue luminaires to contractors to install, but they usually are not offered the level of credit a distributor would offer them. Distributors also check specifications thoroughly to make sure the right products are being ordered. Thank you so much for watching. Also, special thanks to the excellent lighting designer who suggested this video to me. You know who you are, and you are awesome. Also, this wasn't a definitive guide. If you're interested in more information, down in the description below there is a link to an excellent document created by the International Association of Lighting Designers, the IALD, with all the information you could ever need. Be sure to like, share and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye bye.